So, in today's topic, we are going to discuss about Slack. And as Karthik said, like last time, we talked about Google Chat. So, this is similar kind of use cases we'll discussing, but the difference is now Slack is a part of MuleSoft and Salesforce. So, we will be seeing a tightly integration with Slack. And basically I just want to keep this meetup very interactive. So if anyone would like to, at the end of the session, like 10-15 minutes, we can discuss about any of the use cases you are already working with Slack, or any other ideas you have with Slack. So you are most welcome to share all those. So in today's agenda we'll be talking about the Slack integration, what is Slack, and how we are going to connect with Slack via MuleSoft. We'll be also seeing some, demo and the use cases, how to connect with that. And most important, uh, in the integration world, how Slack can help you with your next integration, or, if you are looking for a solution, something like a notification or a complete, workflow automation, like support teams can be use Slack in that, and make their life easier, uh, like invoking the application from Slack. So all those things we'll be talking about that. And feel free, as Karthik said, like if you have any question or anything would like to ask, so feel free. So let's get started. So before I start with the integration part with MuleSoft, I would like to give a brief about Slack. So most of you are already using Slack. I know we have a very good group for the MuleSoft community, leaders and speakers and mentors on Slack. So already we are communicating, we are using this. But just to give a overview about Slack, what is Slack? So Slack stands. It's a abbreviation. So the full form is searchable log for all conversation and knowledge. So if you see, that clearly says that what is Slack. So Slack is a way to communicate within your team. So if you are already using Skype or Teams or maybe Zoom, you are already aware, or maybe Hangout also. So you are already aware what we do with that. Like we do audio chat, video chat, we set up meetings, and then we send a lot of emojis, reactions. We mention people, and there are a lot of features when we communicate within the team. So what Slack says, if you see what Slack says about themselves on their page, is they are going to replace the email part completely. That's what they are targeting. So what it meant for developer is all those notification which you send via MuleSoft or any other application, for say you are sending notification at the end of the your flow or your process, that you have completed the process, or maybe something like alert. If something fails, you are sending alert from MuleSoft, right? Sending that, saying that okay, my process has been failed, or maybe database is down. So all those things for which you are using the email part, we can completely remove that, and instead of that we can use Slack to send notification. Now what is the benefit of using Slack is, if your organization or your company is already using Slack, so now MuleSoft or MuleSoft application can be part of those conversation. So it's a way to say that MuleSoft application is now talking to your team. It's sending alerts, it's sending notification, it's sending all kind of emails. Whatever you send in emails, now it will come via your Slack. And I'm going to show that in the demo also, how to achieve that. So in a nutshell, Slack will do all the things whatever you are already doing using the existing chat, but it has a very rich API support. And plus, now if you see, if you are already using Skype or maybe Teams, you must be noticed, like it is used only within the organization. Like if you are employee of organization or maybe vendor you are using, but Slack can be used even outside world. So even the outside world can communicate to the people within your organization, and they can very well be a part of that chat or communication. So everything can happen at one place. That is the biggest difference between Skype, Teams, and then Slack. Okay, as we go through, I will show you how and how it looks and how we can achieve that. So this is just to give you a feeling how it look like. You are already using it, but for others who are yet to use that, so this is just a basic look and feel of Slack. So on left hand side we can see all the options, like you can create different channel, and channel is nothing but a focused group on which you talk about. So let's say you have finance, HR, or maybe other department like commercial, you can create different kind of channels on which you can discuss the topic. Option to send a direct message like one to one. If you want to talk to someone, those things you can do here. So this is how the Slack will look like. Okay, so going back, let's move ahead. So recently Salesforce informed or said in the news that they acquired Slack. So what does it mean? It means that we will be seeing in future, just like we seen with the Salesforce and MuleSoft, like they have created a lot of connectors and a lot of out of box connector with Salesforce, and now it is more tightly integrated with Salesforce, and MuleSoft. So with Slack also we'll be seeing a connector which is, or maybe some product which is maybe a part of Salesforce and MuleSoft, or maybe it can be easily integrated. So in future it could be possible that more people are using, who are already using Salesforce and MuleSoft, they will be start using Slack. So you will be seeing Slack more widely used with the Salesforce and MuleSoft in the coming time. Okay, now let's talk about the integration part. So what are the different ways we can connect Slack with MuleSoft? Let's say you can connect with different APIs also. No, I mean different application also, except MuleSoft. But these are the two basic ways, using OAuth token and using API call with a fixed token. So Slack also provide you a API call by directly using the token. So they are giving you a two token. One is your user token, another one is the bot token. So you can any use any one of them. OAuth token, on the other hand, is, as you all know, with other application we are using a client ID and secret, and then we are making the call using that to generate the code, and then we are getting token, and then we are making the call, right? So using the MuleSoft connector, what we have for Slack, we will be using the first option, which is the OAuth token, and I will show you the demo. Okay. Any question anyone have before we move forward? I just want to take a pause. Okay. Okay. So as I told you, like we have out of box connector in MuleSoft, which uses OAuth, and you can also make a direct API call if you don't have MuleSoft and you are trying to call with some other application. You can also use HTTP call with a fixed token, which they have. So let's say the process of the OAuth from Slack to the MuleSoft. I mean, if you are calling, let's say on the left-hand side, you have a MuleSoft application and you are trying to get access to the Slack, what is the process involved? So what you do is, in the authorization request, you will be sending secret, just like you do with the other application like Google APIs, or maybe if you have used Facebook or YouTube APIs, you do the similar kind of thing. So here also, we will be making a OAuth call and using the client ID and secret, and then the Slack will respond back with a authorization grant. So what you do is you permit the app to use the client ID and secret validation. It will give you a code, and using that code, you call the, and it will give you an access token. So this access token can be used to make a service API call, like you want to send a message or you want to create a new channel. So using this access token, now you can make a call and get the response back. Okay, so this is how a basic OAuth process works, and this is common across all the APIs you have seen where you must have used OAuth. It also follows the similar pattern. So this is one of the thing which Slack has it differently. compared to, if you see Teams or maybe Skype, they don't have this much API support where you can use all of their functionality even from outside. Like using Slack, we can call their APIs, and whatever functionality, if you see in we have in Slack, right? We can send a message, and if you can see, we can attach a file, we can send emojis, you can mention someone. So all of these functionality are included in the API. So in a way, it's not only like using their API, you can just send a message. You can do almost anything. You can even format the text while sending the uh, message, or you can mention someone. So all those functionality, they have a very good API support for that. Okay. So let's move. So as I discussed, this is the the basic structure of sending OAuth, and verify the user. So as I told you, you will be sending the client ID and secret in the Slack, and then user will get a pop-up where they will approve the request. Then user will be redirected with a verification code, and then once they will get the verification code, they will get the OAuth token, and using that OAuth token, now you can make a call to Slack and use whatever functionality you want to use. And of course, you can have two options. You can act as a user. So whatever token request you send, it will go as a user, or it will go as a bot. So bot is a kind of robot. I mean, it's not an actual user, but it's an automated way to send a message to Slack.
Ravi, can you do the present in full screen?
Okay, sure.
Sorry to interrupt. Go on.
Yeah, sure. You can see it now. Sorry about that.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So I was saying, so using the token, you can either send the request as a normal user or as a bot. So both is possible using the Slack. Okay. So once I will show you the demo, I will show you how exactly this whole process happens using a sample application. Okay, so let's come to the Slack. I just want to give a quick overview before we jump to the application. So I want to show you, before you start using Slack for your MuleSoft application, what you need to do. So if you already used Google Analytics, or maybe YouTube API or Facebook API, we need to create an app. So this is the first part. So before you call the API, you need to create an app through which you will be making the call. So this is the first part. You will go to api.slack.com and you'll create a new app, which you will use in your MuleSoft application. So once you create an app, the next step is, what are the functionality you want to use in a Slack. So for our demo purpose, I will show you that in the actual API also. But just for the demo purpose, these two application I'm going to show, depending on the time we have, because there are a lot more functionality in Slack, but we can't cover all of them in one call. So we'll be using the slash command. So slash command is used to run the it's something like a command line, right? So you will give some command, and in the background slash will run a some kind of a URL. Let's say you have a Cloud Hub URL or any on-premises URL which can be accessed from outside. So once I will give some command, it will run the Cloud Hub application. Okay. The second thing which you must do is give the permission to your app. Okay. So let me show you what kind of permission I'm using in my current demo purpose. So there are different permission, and permission are called scope in Slack. So scope is nothing but, if you want your app to use certain functionality in Slack, you have to give them access. So for example, in my case, I want to send some chat message to Slack, right? So I need to give channel read scope, chat write scope, and for using slash command, I have to give the command. Okay. So like this, there are different roles, or you can say scopes, are available in Slack. So before using any of them for your app, make sure you give access. So you have to come in the API URL. You have to select your app and then give the relevant scope to the particular app, then only that app will be able to use those scope and then try to push the data or do whatever operation you want to do with the API. Okay, so this is the second step. And again, once you are done with that, you need to give the redirect URL. So if you guys are already aware about OAuth TANS process, so what happened is, let's say I am creating this application on my local, okay, let's say on my local machine. So I have to give the callback URL, which is local to my system. And of course, if you have any Cloud Hub application, you can always give the Cloud Hub URL and then the callback. So once you give the slash callback, this is what you will set it up in your MuleSoft application. So I will show you that part also. So just remember that whatever redirect URL you will give in the MuleSoft connector, you have to set the same in the Slack. Okay. Okay, so once you are done with that, once you save that, now you are ready with your client ID and secret. Okay, so you will get a client ID and secret as well as your app ID. And if you click on the left hand side, the basic information, you will see all of these things. You need to capture this. And once you are setting your Slack in the MuleSoft, you will be needing this information. Okay. So before we do anything with our MuleSoft application, make sure you go to the channel and create a new channel. Okay. So if you don't know the channel name, you cannot post the message. So make sure you create a channel and then post your message to the particular channel. Okay. So now let's come to the first use case I'm going to talk about. And as I talked in the beginning, that what we are going to do with this use case is send notification to Slack from your MuleSoft application. And the aim is to remove all those email notification you already have in your application. So let me give some scenarios and then you'll understand what I'm saying is, uh, let's say I'm running one process, right, from where I'm getting some data from Salesforce. Let's say I'm getting some leads, and then I'm copying it to the my database. So there is a sync up process. Now, I need to know whether this sync up process is completed in MuleSoft or not. So what I will do, I need to send some email messages, right? That's what we normally do to like we have completed the MuleSoft process. So instead of that, using send an email notification, I am going to use the Slack to send the messages to Slack. And when I say messages, it's a notification, because if you see on the Slack, when when in any channel we stick to the particular topic, right? For example, if I'll go to, let's say, this is one of my channel which says testing, right? Or let's say commercial. So I'm going to talk about a particular, maybe a product or maybe a particular topic, let's say HR. So I'm going to send all those, related topic only in that. So let's say I'm doing some job, for MuleSoft related to the testing channel. So I'll be putting all those messages here. Okay. MuleSoft has completed a particular job, or MuleSoft has completed, a HR job, or maybe a finance payment loading, something like that. So it's very much similar what you send in the notification. Okay, so that is our first use case where we will be sending a notification to our Slack channel. Okay, so this is the I've created one very basic application, but what I want to show you is, let's say we have a HTTP connector, and then the logger part is where you will be running the actual job. Okay, let's say it's a data load, or maybe sync up process, or maybe you are writing something on the file. So that job part will be here, and then once that is completed, we will be preparing a transform message which we will be pushing it to the Slack. Okay, and then message will be posted to Slack. Then we'll get the final response from Slack, like whatever it is, failure or success, and then we'll be printing the final payload result. Okay, so let me go to the actual Anypoint Studio, and I will show you like how it will look like. So if you can see my screen, this is the same application. So I just want to show you like what I'm setting up. So channel name, as I told you, like whatever channel you want to post the message, and text is the actual text message what you want to push in the Slack. Okay, so this is what you will do in the transform. Now in the send message, I would quickly go through the connector config just to show you how it works. So if you come here just for the demo purpose, this is the client ID and client secret, whatever I discussed earlier, that we'll set it up here. And then we'll have a authorization URL. This will be same as it is. You'll set it up. And then we are using the OAuth access. So we'll be putting the OAuth. And then if you see the scope I talked earlier, so whatever is scope you want to set, you have to give it here. Make sure you set the correct scope. Otherwise, your MuleSoft application or your app will not be having the correct access to post or to connect with the Slack. Okay. The second thing which I mentioned earlier is the callback URL. Now remember, this URL you have to set it up in Slack also. So right now I'm using the local host. So I have given my local host, but if it is your Cloud Hub application, you have to give the correct URL. Okay, according to that. So you need to set it up all those part in your Slack. Okay. Now, once you will set it up, okay, and I guess my application is already running. Yes. So I will show you what you need to do after this. Okay. So once you are done with this, the next step is to do the OAuth dance process. So OAuth dance is nothing but you are trying to grant access of your existing MuleSoft application to receive the code. Okay, I will show you how. So this is my localhost application, and I need to give the authorize here. Okay, so once I will give this, the this test is nothing but the app which I've created for my demo purpose. And what I'm doing is I'm giving access to this app on this Slack. Okay, this is the normal what we do with the other OAuth application. So once you do the allow, what it will do is it will go to Slack and get a code. Okay, authorization code, and using the code, the access token will be retrieved. Okay, so once this is done, now you are ready to execute your MuleSoft application. Okay, so I already have this application on our on my Cloud Hub. So I will just show you how to use that. Okay, so let's say um, okay, let's say I'm running the MuleSoft process. Okay, I'm sending a message to Slack, and this is my channel name which I post, and this is the text message. So for the demo, I'm passing it, but in the actual real world, your MuleSoft will compose this message, and whatever is the the output or the notification you want to send, you will just send it like this. Okay, so once you send this, what will happen is the message will go to your. So if you see, because I'm using my own user token, now the output from the MuleSoft application is now passed into the Slack. And because this channel, I can add any number of user anytime. So let's say I have some outside vendor who wants to be notified and say, like, I want to be notified when certain event occurs, right? So you can simply go and add that user into this channel. So he will start receiving the notification. Okay. So the other use cases for this Slack is, let's say there is some senior management and you recently moved a new MuleSoft application to production, and they want a notification whenever there is any failure happens, right? So they can subscribe to this particular channel, and they will keep on receiving, let's say for 1 month only, they want to see if the application is working normally. So they can set it up here for this channel. And the second thing which I forgot to tell you is, In Slack, we also have an option to receive notification when a particular keyword comes into the chat. Okay, so this is a very good feature. So if I'll show you here in the notification, you can set certain keyword. Okay, for example, I want to be notified when I see something failure only. Okay, not for the success. So I can set those keyword, and whenever any message comes, something like, let's say, finance load failed. Okay, so you will get a notification either on your Slack app, or if you are using on your desktop, you will get a notification. So like this, uh, instead of sending hundred of emails daily for success or failure, using Slack, it is very much easier to notify people, and also remove the email part completely. And this is just a one use case, but there are a lot of things you can do. So the second use case I will show you. This is the first one where we are sending a notification using MuleSoft. I will come back to the second part shortly. So this is how the first use case is flows. Okay. Any question on this? I'll take a pause.
Ravi, I was wondering if you can send files as well,
Yes, you can.
log files. Okay.
Yeah. So you can just like this. If you're seeing in the Slack, we have option to attach a file, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the same way API also support to send a file. So let's say in the MuleSoft you have generated any files and you stored it. So if you see in MuleSoft connector, if I'll go to Slack, there are almost all the functionality you can think of in Slack, right? You have a separate kind of connector, or I would not say connector, a functionality. Yes, so you can send file also.
Okay.
See files info, files delete. Yeah, so
Got
there are
it.
a lot of functionality you can expose via Slack. Okay.
And do we have any limitations on the file size that we send, or any of the file types that any limitations on the file type?
Limitation of the file types I need to explore. I'm not sure, but definitely size we have limitation.
Okay.
Because I don't have a paid version with me, so there is some 10 MB or so is the limitation. But I think if you have a something like an organization wise subscription, the limit is more.
Okay.
Yeah, but you can do that. Have something like you know something like if you have a SharePoint location, or if you are storing the file in some SFTP, that also you can use to send the link or something in the chat.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So let's move. So whatever we discussed, like I will just quickly go through. It's the same thing, but I just put it in the slide just for your reference. So this is how you set up the config. As I mentioned, you need to set up the scope, the callback URL. All this needs to be set up. Okay. And this is how you set up the message. So before you send the actual message, you need a transform to set the channel and the text. Of course, there are other parameter also you can set, but for our purpose only, if you are using some other functionality like files or something, you can set it up here. If you are using a different connector, then accordingly you have to set all the parameters here. Okay, and this is how the OAuth dance process I told, right? So before you actually make a call to Slack, you need to set up the authorize, you need to get the token. And once you get the token after allowing the permission, then only you can make a call to Slack. Okay, and these are the different messages, like we can have like some job like sales load, or payment processing, or some sync up process. So there are different use cases you can use, and you can send a different kind of notification with certain keywords also, like failure or success, which user can put it in their keyword list, and they can filter the result. So those things can be possible. Okay, and as I mentioned, you can of course set the different keywords to receive the notification, and you can customize it more, like what time you want to receive, like in the morning time only or in the evening, what time you want to receive. So all those things can be easily set up in Slack. And of course, we have an app also for Slack on for the iOS and Android. So definitely it works very much like WhatsApp, but the difference is it's more made for the organization and not for the personal purpose. But of course, you can use it for personal purpose also. But it's a mixture of both, like a personal use plus the organization purpose. Okay, so let's talk about the second use case, and this is actually more interesting. So the second part which I talked about is the slash command, right? In the initially I talked about, and okay, so the background of this use case is, so there are various occasions in MuleSoft we have where some job fails, right? So let's say in the first part you receive a notification saying that is some sales load or some some sync up process is failed. So what will be the next process, right? So we have support teams, they will be getting notified like now the process has failed, what to do. So most of the time they restart the process, right? So what you will do normally, to start the process you need to log into your system, and you need to restart, or you may have to go to Cloud Hub, or start the scheduler. So those are the manual process involved. So what Slack can do in this situation is, uh, we can set up a customized URL which we want to run from slash. Okay, so this is how we set up the slash command, and it is nothing but if you see on the top we have a command is nothing but what you type in your Slack chat box, and then this will ultimately convert into the request URL. Okay, the request URL will be your Cloud Hub URL. Okay, and in the short description you can just put like what you are trying to do with this restart, I mean what you're trying to do with this command. Okay, so what actually Slack do is, it will read this command from your chat window, and it will execute this URL. This URL is your Cloud Hub URL or any URL which where the MuleSoft has hosted the application, and it will run this URL passing all this parameter as a post. Okay, for example, suppose you are in the testing channel and you are sending some kind of messages in that using this short command. So it will pick up all those text whatever you are passing, composing a post request and sending to your Cloud Hub URL. Okay, for example, if I've given one example, let's say slash weather 94070. Okay, so what you are trying to do is you are trying to execute one URL passing this parameter as an input. So how we can expose it or how we can use it for Cloud Hub is, we can restart certain job right from the slash itself. We don't need to go to Cloud Hub, or we don't even need to log into our machine. By just using this command we can execute our MuleSoft job. Let me show you how we can do this. Okay, let me go back to the Slack. If you can see my screen.
Yes.
So let's say this is my chat window, and I'm trying to uh, run a job. Okay, this restart job is what I have created. Okay, so I just put it, and I will put some customized text like sales load. Okay, so as you can see, it triggers job, okay, which I set it up here. So I will show you the actual MuleSoft application. What it does is, so what I did is I already set up my command in Slack using that URL. So I set that URL. So that URL is coming here, hitting my Cloud Hub URL. And then the same way what I did earlier, I executed some kind of job in this, let's say in logger part, I executed the restart part. I set again the channel and the text and send the in the send message, I executed that. Okay, so the message is again posted saying that my job is completed. Okay, let me show you how we can achieve it. So if you go to slash command here in the Slack API, I already set up, so I will show you how we can do it here. So you need to go to slash command and create a new command. Okay, I'll show you how the command will look like. So this is the command which I passed. Okay, this is the request URL, which is my CloudHub URL. I'm hitting it. I put some short description, and once you'll set it up, whatever command you will put it here, it will execute. So how it will help us is, uh, in case of any failure or any job got failed, we can start it right here. We don't need to move out of Slack, and here itself, if all your teammates are included in this channel, you can just simply message the job is completed. Okay, so all of your teammate is already notified that the support team already executed the job and it's completed within this channel itself. You don't need to go anywhere. So this is another use case where using the Slack itself, we can execute a job in MuleSoft without using any of those, any CloudHub or any on-premises login. Okay, so this is the second use case I have. Okay, let me go back again and I will just show you the same thing what we discussed. Okay, but remember one thing, whatever you are passing, right, this URL, it's all method. Okay, so slash never send a get request, it always send a post request by including all those parameter, whatever for example, the channel, right? So whatever channel you'll type the command, it will use that channel name and send it. Okay, so you need to capture all those parameter in your MuleSoft application and act accordingly, like whatever you want to do with the command. Okay, so these are the two use cases we discussed. So the first part is we want to remove the complete email notification part by using Slack, so that we don't have to go through hundred of emails and then find one email which we want to see. We can customize the notification, we can set the keyword, and accordingly we can be notified. And we also have the mention part, which I have not shown in the use case, but let's say during the failure of certain job, you want to mention someone, saying that you can use @ in the request and send someone name, and that will send a specific alert. Okay, so if that person will see, he will be notified that someone tagged him with some failure. And of course, as I mentioned, like your whole your whole support team, right, L2, L3, and other production team can be fully automated and can be integrated with your team. The other use case I can also add is the DevOps team, right? So during the deployment process, let's say you have 10 to 15 different MuleSoft application which will be getting deployed, and you want to be notified for certain component once it is deployed. So what you can do is you can create an API of Slack, customize Slack API in MuleSoft, and any team can use that API to make a call and send a notification saying that particular deployment is completed. Okay, so even in the DevOps process, you can notify different teams about certain events using the Slack. And the last part which we discuss is the automated chat using the slash. So we have executed the command flow using the slash, where we can trigger certain application right from the slash chat box. Okay, so these are the some of the use cases, but Slack has a lot of functionality. These are just to start with, just to give you kind of a feel, but you can do a lot more. There are a lot of functionality. They have their own workflow automation also, which you can use their API to expose and to execute. So Slack is something you can explore more to as per your need. Like what kind of flow you need or what kind of functionality you need. So you can, of course, expose that. Okay. So yeah, these are the thing from my side. Before we go like to question any idea someone want to share, or any comment, any questions, or if you are already using Slack, within your organization, you can share like how you exposed it, how you are using it. Or like if you have a notification part, right, already. I mean, I know most of the project we are using the email notification, right? So that is already a pain point where we are sending hundreds of email to different people, and suddenly someone one day come and says like add me also to the notification. Then we need a whole more changes, right, to accommodate that request. So yeah, someone can share like what they do normally to this situation for the
Um,
notification part and the alert part.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, Joe, go on.
Hi. So in our case, we're using like a webhook, and
Yeah,
then
sorry, I missed that.
we're using Slack, kind of Slack webhook, and then we add it as one of the recipients in our Cloud Hub alerts.
Yeah, Karthik, over to you.
No, Joe is mentioning that they were using
Sorry.
webhooks integration.
Sorry, what was that? I missed that.
Joe was mentioning that they are using webhooks for Slack integration and other
Mm-hmm.
notifications.
Okay. So how it works? Like, is it better than the email process? I mean,
So
is people are
it's
like really
email.
comfortable with Slack,
So
or they still
so
prefer email
there are.
notification?
It's
How is the
actually
experience?
pushing it to the channel as well. So it's pushing it via Slack channel, not
I
via
mean, I'm
email.
just asking, like, because I mean, this is just people started with Slack. They have not used much. So
Yeah. I think Ravi, you're not able to hear Joe.
yeah, I can't hear. Sorry.
Yeah, probably there is a problem. Yeah, thanks, Joe. That is a good option. So that is one more way to connect and explore the Slack. And Ravi, I have this one question
Yeah.
regarding the slash command. You used a parameter. I'm guessing
Mm-hmm.
that will be an query param in the URL, or it will be a
No,
body.
it will always be a post, and it will go as a JSON. So it will be inside the body, never in a query parameter.
Okay, if it is a body, so this will be a value of one of the key, right? Can we
Correct.
send two or three parameters with different
Yes.
keys? JSON,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, we can. For now, like for my purpose, if you see, I just send one text, right? So whatever you type, for example, if you see in my example, I have given one weather and then 94070, right? So this is nothing but a text which will go as a text in the
Okay.
parameter. But yes, you can pass some customized parameter also. It is possible.
Okay. So the authentication happens based on the,
In the slash command,
yeah, how the authentication and the authorization happens.
yes, it's the same process. Like if you see my restart flow right here. So once we receive the request, uh, see the command has the Cloud Hub URL, right? So that will get executed. But again,
Okay.
during the execution, you want to send some message, so you have to put the same flow. But
Okay.
from Slack to the Cloud Hub, there is no authentication. It will just hit the URL with the parameter, right?
Let's say the Cloud Hub URL has some client enforcement or some SSL. So then
Mhm.
we have to configure that in our Slack channel, Slack app.
Yes. For example, let's say you have a client ID and secret validation. Let's say, right? That kind of validation. So yes, we need to pass those things in the header. I definitely have not explored, but the API has mentioned that you can pass customized parameters. So yes, if you have client ID and secret kind of thing, you can customize this call to pass them.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
So you mean the client ID and secret of an Cloud Hub API? You're gonna configure that on your Slack settings. Is that correct?
Yeah. So if you have no more question,
Yes,
Karthik.
Ravi is not able to hear you, Joe. Sorry. I think
Oh,
that's what he
why,
mentioned. I don't know
why
why.
he's not? Why he
So
can't
I'm
hear
really
me?
sorry. I'm not sure why you can't hear.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's because of this platform. It's Berry, right? Platform name.
But he could hear you, right?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's right. I don't know if you have to rejoin. He has to rejoin.
I can hear everyone else. I can hear Karthik.
Yeah, I don't know why you're not able to hear Joe. Interesting.
I'm really sorry. I
But he
want to
can't
really.
hear
Probably.
me.
Yeah.
No,
The
I
Yeah,
was
problem.
now it's
gonna.
better.
Yeah, but did you get my question, Karthik?
Yes. I'll ask, Ravi, what Joe asking is the client ID enforcement, client ID secret, what is configured on Cloud Hub, we have to get that and put it in the Slack / command, is it?
Yes. So same thing like what you do in the Postman, right? Once you call the Cloud Hub URL, right? You pass the client ID in secret, right? If
Yeah,
anyone from
but that's a command. But that's a slash command. Where you gonna put the client ID in secret there?
I mean, let's say, yeah, because your Cloud Hub application demands that, right? For example, in my
Yeah,
application,
I
there is
know. But how you gonna do that in Slack?
that part passing the client ID and secret in the header. I have not explored, but I think definitely it can be done. That is something we need to explore and find.
Yeah, but I
Uh,
don't think you're gonna type it in along with your slash command because that's gonna be a security, risk of putting the client secret in the Slack channel. So it could be probably something,
See,
configuration.
that is the best part. See, whatever command I passed in this channel, right? You don't see the command, can you?
No, you
If
mentioned
No.
any,
sales code,
yeah,
sales load.
yeah,
So of course you did not pass any custom parameters, so we don't
yeah,
see what does the post headers and attributes look like. We
yeah.
see
Yeah.
I
only
will
the
show
command name.
you. Yeah, I will show you. See, when I'm passing this, right? This command,
Yeah, it's
okay?
not.
You
Yeah.
you command, right? You just see the
Yeah.
this text part. This is nothing but the text that is only went in this. Okay, and this text came because from my MuleSoft application, I'm posting this message back to the this Slack. That is why it's coming. Otherwise, even the response also no one can see. You can see here only visible to you. So even no one can see the response also. This whole command thing is private to me, the person who is hitting it in the command.
Okay.
So no one can see it. Even if you pass the client ID in secret, no one can see it.
Right. Cool. I think we just have to, explore how
Explore
we're
it.
gonna pass. Yeah.
I'm also worried
That is
that
correct. Yeah.
free version doesn't have all the features like enterprise
Ah,
license.
yeah, true.
Yeah. A lot of things is possible. Yeah.
Any more questions, guys? Questions or your
Yeah.
experience?
So when
Any
we are passing,
implementation questions on Slack like security?
hello.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. So when we are passing a command, right, slash commands, where we are passing some parameters as well.
Sridhar, you're unmuted. You want to ask something?
Yes. I'm already asking it. Hello, can
Yeah,
you
I can
hear me?
hear. I can hear. Yeah.
Okay. So Ravi, when we are passing the slash command, so we are also passing some parameter. For example, you have passed weather, and along with that, you have passed some number, right?
Mm-hmm.
Will the order also matters? Like when we are sending a post request, so there are a lot of keys and combinations, right? There are multiple keys. So how will that identify for which key this value has to be set?
So, yeah, that is a good question. So let me show you. So these parameter, what I've shown you here, right?
Yes.
These are the inbuilt parameter which is being passed. Okay. The only thing, if you see here, 94070 is going in the text.
Okay.
In this is the command which you are passing. Okay, that will go in the weather. And
Mhm.
other things, whatever you seeing here is the internal to Slack, but it will still be passed to the calling application in case they want to use it for some purpose.
Okay.
Okay, but along with that, you can pass your own customized parameter also.
Mhm.
That is possible. I have not explored that part.
Okay.
But definitely from your Slack, you can pass certain parameter and capture that in your MuleSoft, and then use it for some purpose.
Okay. And I have one more question regarding the payload that you're sending, wherein you're sending a payload as channel and text, as far as I remember. So this channel is kind of some kind of a keyword, is it? Whenever
This
we send a
channel is
data.
nothing but this channel is nothing but in Slack. Whenever you start any discussion, right, you
Yeah,
create a channel.
correct.
Channel is nothing but a focused group, right? For example, if you
Yes,
have different teams,
correct.
so that channel I am passing in the payload. So only in that channel only that message will be posted. Okay, I
Okay,
don't want to, put the HR message into the finance one, right?
correct.
So
Yeah.
I'll create channel and then I'll post.
Okay. I'm asking about the key name. So we have certain key names as a predefined one, is it?
I mean, during
Whenever we
when
send
we
a
say
request, so you are sending that as a channel, and inside that you are passing some variable, is it?
correct. So these are the we need to keep it fixed.
Okay, those are something predefined whenever we send some
Correct,
data to Slack.
correct. Yeah.
Okay,
So before that, we have to set it like this.
okay,
So this is what I pass in the JSON request, and this will be captured in the channel and text. Yeah. So this is fixed.
yeah, that's all I want to know.
Okay.
Ravi, can you hear me?
Yeah. Sure, I can.
Ravi,
Go ahead.
Manpreet here. Hi. I have a couple of questions. One is there any API or some documentation wherein we can read more about these APIs, or the connector is it using any API at the back end, like another payload or something that we can see what exactly to be sent whenever we are invoking any of the connector operation?
Okay, so see, MuleSoft has an out-of-box connector, right, which I was using.
Right.
But if
Right.
you go to the Slack, right, they have a very detailed documentation. Okay, and
Okay.
as I mentioned in the initially, right, if you have any other application other than MuleSoft, you can still use the feature. Okay, you
Right.
can call the URL using some customized, using that fixed auth key I told you, right?
Mhm.
So you can very much come here and just try with the different parameter what we can pass and how it behaves. So this is a kind of playground. You can come
Right.
here, and this is the other way to call. Okay, so
Mhm.
you can use out of box connector, or you can call your HTTP connector, and you can use a URL, and then in the token you can use the API Slack fixed token for user and bot. So
Okay.
that also you can call. Okay,
Okay.
so
Yep.
you can explore it more in the Slack API documentation. Okay, so this is one
Mhm.
of the test app I have created. So if you'll come here and click on this OAuth and permission, you can see we have tokens for user and for bot, right? So
Right.
these token you can use here and can still call the Slack API.
Okay.
Okay,
Got it.
MuleSoft connector just
Right.
the way we call. Yeah, you can
Right.
explore. It has a very yeah.
Yeah. One more question is, like you mentioned, we like the key is fixed, right? The key channel is fixed to send the messages to the channels. Is there any way of sending the messages to the IAMs as well, like direct messages to some person? Say, suppose we wanna notify one
Yes, yes,
particular person and not a channel.
yes. That is possible, right? So see, we have a direct message option here, right? We can send to individual people. So using
Right.
API also it is possible. There is a direct
Okay.
message connector. I mean direct message method in the out of box. You can use that. We have
Okay.
this
Okay.
option.
Okay. Thank you. Need to explore. This is good, actually. Thank you.
Yeah, you can do that.
And also the idea of replacing notification emails with Slack is a good one. At least like severity issues, high priority issues, and high priority Jira tickets.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
is
I
no
have
space.
seen. Yeah, that is correct. I have seen like people reacting quickly with Slack instead of when we are sending email, right? So the response time will be better using Slack.
Of course, we should not flood with alerts. It will be like they'll be
Yeah.
tired of this. It should be only high priority things and
Correct.
important things.